Are you stressed and filled with anxiety like I am? Maybe in a bit of pain from that car accident you had a few years ago? Well, the sponsor of today's episode, Hempville CBD, has us covered. They have the highest quality products created by chemists and doctors. Hempville carries everything from CBD to THC dispensary grade without those despicable dispensary prices. Order your Delta 8, 9 edibles and vapes along with the THCA flower and get free shipping when you spend $50 or more at hempvillecbd.com. Check out the link in the description for more details.
Welcome to the Filmistines, the double feature podcast. Join us as we unravel the interwoven experience of the continuous conversation of cinema. Take part in pairing movies with their cursed counterparts, movies that share DNA, or even pairing questionable duos by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $5 tier will grant the ability to request films to further the discussion. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready to join the 100-year conversation. This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment. They're an experience.
They're an experience.
All around you. And welcome back to another episode of the Filmistines. Thank you for joining us today. I am joined today by my friend who lives under a bridge, Lucy.
Didn't you already use that one for Troll Hunter?
Oh shit. You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for brand new episodes of the Filmistines. Some recent episodes include our first episode of our new sub-series covering rumors and different topics in the film industry. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snacks, District 9, Moonlight, and If Beale Street Could Talk. A little bit of Barry Jenkins there for you. But today we're discussing True Art, Trolls Band Together, directed by Walt Dohrn. And the only reason I really say that is because he's directed all three of these films, which is, I think, very odd. Right?
Yes.
Must be somewhat of his brainchild. And I also don't like that it says based on Good Luck Trolls. The toy, I guess.
Aren't the trolls based off of those?
The movies based off the toys?
Well, the trolls inspiration.
Yeah, but are they? Like, they are, okay, but are they? They don't really look anything like them except that they have big hair, but they don't really have the same proportions. There's no story to the toy, right? So, like, is it fair to say it's based off of these toys?
No. Not unless the toys had a similar plot line to anything, really. Whether
Right.
it's the first one to the third one.
Yeah. I think it's a little disingenuous.
Maybe inspired
Aesthetically?
yeah.
Hardly still.
I mean, it's just the hair. That's it.
I'm totally on the same page. Yeah, but the new Trolls movie is out. I did not know we were going to cover this until we started watching this. And then especially after you told me that you liked the first Trolls, I was like, okay, I guess we're covering this movie. Did not anticipate that. But it all works out because I've never really sat down and paid attention to Trolls 1 or 2. I think I like 2 more, but you said you like 1 more.
I like 1 the best.
So I'm just a little, maybe I should sit down and actually watch those with my full attention. But I'm happy to report back on Trolls 3 that it's actually decent. I'm very surprised that this movie is pretty good.
This movie is cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's even a little clever at various points. But again, it's not my favorite Trolls. Definitely not my favorite DreamWorks.
Oh, no way, yeah.
Not my favorite animated movie that came out this year.
For sure, yeah.
So, it's okay.
I fully expected this movie to be terrible, along the lines of Teenage Kraken.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that the expectations for this movie were pretty low, especially how just thirds in general tend to be
Yeah, sure, yeah.
some of the weaker ones out of a series. But yeah, it was surprisingly cute for me. It was okay. It was surprisingly okay.
Is it me, or does it feel like more of a proper sequel to the first one? I'm not sure where the second one really fits into all this.
Yeah, me either. I haven't watched it in a while.
Well, man, what did you think of Trolls Band Together? Are you sold on them reaching into, our pockets, our back pockets of boy bands, because it seems to talk a little less to kids of today and more of people in their late 20s going into their 30s.
See, I wasn't sure who the audience target for this was.
Yes.
Because it's still a little kiddish for it to have been us, the, 20-year-olds of today. But they're also referencing NSYNC and some of the NSYNC songs, apparently. But we're not the NSYNC audience. I think we're a little bit too young for NSYNC. We are of the Justin Timberlake. He was by himself already.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, I don't know. I feel like it's for, I don't want to say a whole generation above us, but maybe like the 35-year-olds plus. But again, I'm not sure. Because the NSYNC cameo at the end didn't really speak to me. It was more like, hey, I think that's NSYNC. I think that's what they're doing here. And then reading into it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's them. So I don't know. I'm a bit confused about that.
Yeah, I've never really paid attention to boy bands in any form at any point in time or any members. So I was like, oh, they're trying to talk to us, our generation, but I wasn't really sure. I felt like they were trying to communicate with us, but I couldn't really get a grasp on exactly what. So I thought it was kind of cute. It's still kind of cute, and it seems a little odd to be in this movie because that focus of just the boy band, the 90s boy band thing with all the sexual innuendos is weird. At least, I mean, as far as this a kids movie goes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate some of the cleverness behind it, which I'm sure this quote that I'm about to say is probably everywhere on the internet regarding this movie. But when they say, we're not in sync anymore, we've gone from boys to men, and now there's only one direction for us to go, the back streets. Which is funny. But then I kept seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, okay. They knew what they had there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, okay, all right, I'll go for the jokes. And then some of the more adult jokes that I didn't even get, you had to explain those to me. But that's not saying anything about the movie. That was just me, my naiveness. Like the joke that Bridget tells about she only expected one of them to be tied up tonight. I was like, what? And then you explained it. And I was like, oh, whoa, that's kind of dirty. So that was fun. That was fun.
It's even weirder that she's played by Zooey Deschanel. That just makes it all that much more unsettling.
Why?
I don't know. Why are these jokes in this movie? I don't know.
That's true.
It unsettles me.
Yeah, and I wasn't a fan of the music selection in this movie. I just didn't think they flowed together. I don't think they were very cohesive. You have stuff from NSYNC to Lizzo. I mean, you obviously weren't going for modern.
Mm-hmm. No theme, really, other than it being pop music.
Yeah.
Of the time, of their whatever time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seemed like they really just picked a song to fit what was happening on some level. It almost felt like it was trying to tap into that musical nature, at least a lot more than the other two. I was like, the other ones aren't musical. They have like music numbers in them, but they're not, like you kind of said before, the song isn't explaining what's happening or in people's minds at that moment in the other ones, and it is here. It's like, it's kind of fun.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a little much. It's like when you eat way too much sugar and you just don't feel good. Which kind of fits this movie, really. So it's like, it's just a lot of that, which makes it very self-aware and knowing what it is, I guess, which I appreciate.
I don't know, because you have also the It's Electric song, which I believe it's kind of like the old version of the Cha-Cha Slide or the Cupid Shuffle, like one of those songs that people play at events to get people up and dancing, because there's a specific choreography to it. So you have that song with, I don't know. I wasn't there for the music selection. It was a lot. But I think some of the jokes and kind of the intent behind what they're doing here brings this movie up for me. Because they also make a joke about when Crimp, their little assistant person, she says that she can finally put her master's degree in engineering to use.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
That was funny.
That's a very specific joke to someone who's been to like an engineering college too.
Yes, I loved it.
Someone knows.
I'm all for making fun of engineers and biologists.
Yeah,
so I
of
really appreciated that.
I guess if we're on the topic of jokes, we gotta talk about the overarching like meta joke that I'm not really sure how I feel about, but I'm glad there is some element of self-awareness, because you can't have too much self-awareness, really. It can be cringe, but more, it's better to be safe than sorry, I guess. But the fact that Velvet was played by Amy Schumer, and of course Velvet's whole thing is stealing talent from others.
Yeah.
And so it's really funny, I think. I want to laugh at it that Amy Schumer is playing this character, because Amy Schumer's famous for stealing other jokes in her stand-up comedy. She's basically made it her thing. It's like when she says a joke, you got to fact check her. You got to look through all the many hundreds of thousands of comedians there have been out there and find out where she got it from. And then you bingo card it.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
She has to be self-aware enough, right, to get that she's the butt of the joke, right?
I hope so.
Because if she's not, I guess that makes it even funnier. For the sake of her intelligence, though, I hope she does get it.
Damn.
So I do like that. And I don't want to investigate it too much, because I don't know if I get any kind of answers, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, so I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yes, for sure. And very similar to that is, I believe there's another kind of subliminal underlying joke there with both Justin Timberlake and Camila Cabello coming from bands that broke up. And here we have the bands breaking up. So I wonder if there's something there or not. I mean, I could just be reading into it.
Yeah, is Justin Timberlake saying that he wishes the band never broke up?
Is that what this is? Maybe. Although I doubt it, because, I mean, he had a lot of success back in the I'm Bringing Sexy Back era.
Yeah, sure. And maybe he's just going through a little bit of a nostalgic midlife crisis.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably old as fuck now.
He's not that old.
Justin Timberlake is 42.
I think most of our listenership is between 35 and 45.
Oh shit, he's still so young and beautiful. How did you feel about the animation here? Not only the overall animation that we have in this Trolls franchise, but also the bit of dot animation we got, and some of that, I don't know what else to call it, but drug animation when he pushes the button and it looks like everyone's all
psychedelic animation.
Yes.
The normal Trolls animation it's kind of like the Minions animation, where you just like it's good and it's really tight animation. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's ugly as fuck.
It's ugly.
It's just
wow.
It feels like a lot of animation kind of has this flavor of like, we're going to appeal to this very specific demographic to the nth degree. Like Ren and Stimpy, we're going to appeal to the gross 13-year-old boys out there like no one's business. And, they may have, but I like that animation better, one, because it's hand-drawn, and two, it's just, it fits an aesthetic that just, I guess, speaks to me. It's kind of a problem we were running into with If Beale Street Could Talk, actually, where there's this level of production within it that's hard not to admire. Of course, if you're an animator and you see this is the shit, man. You wish you could get a budget to be able to do something like this, So it's cool in one way, but but it's ugly as fuck to me overall. I don't like looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of floats into that area. kind of Pixar kind of hits into that area a little bit too. And the psychedelic animation is weirdly placed in this movie, of course. It's just another one of those elements you're just like, what is this movie? Where is this movie? What is this movie targeted to?
Yeah, it almost made me feel like they got a little too inspired by the new Puss in Boots movie, but that can't be, right?
No, I mean, they could.
Because when did that come out?
A year ago.
A year ago?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe then.
Especially little sections like that. They trying to flavor it up just a little bit. Sure.
But they didn't do it super well.
That's not this kind of movie. Not to say that psychedelic looking stuff needs to be in or should be only in certain stories or whatever, but it makes this movie weirder than it already is. Like there's just a lot of weird things going on here. Then I guess that reminds me of Poppy and Branch's relationship. It just doesn't feel like a kids movie relationship. It feels like there's a weird tension there. I'm not gonna say sexual, but I don't know.
With these jokes,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's weird feeling. Which I'm here for. I'm sold on this movie. I don't love this movie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
this movie's not. I would never rewatch this movie. I would never recommend this movie. But this movie tries to be something. It's so I appreciate it like that.
Yeah, for sure. I do like some of the crafty elements we get with this animation, with the whole Trolls animation. Really, there's a lot of arts and crafts element to it. Like you see the felt of their clothes or like Poppy's headband or whatever. You see those details, which I appreciate that. And there's a lot of glitter everywhere.
Yeah.
And okay, it's also a kids movie, so that kind of makes sense. Everyone throwing up glitter or whatever, however glitter is being used here. I don't know, glitter's annoying to work with. So it was just funny that it's here in this film and there's a lot of glitter. But other than that, I don't think there's anything crazy special about it.
Do you like the story of the original better, where it's kind of this weird investigation? It's got some weirdness to it too, of course. The second one probably does too. I just can't remember the story as much. But the first one is roughly about not letting something control your happiness, where you can find happiness from within.
Yes. I like that the first movie has a point, first of all, which I can't find the point here in this movie. And I like that there's also a tone. A lot of the movie is very somber. We have Branch, first of all, in the first movie, that he's a down in the dumps dude. I mean, he's dark. He doesn't fit in with the other trolls. He's got a bunker ready to go. I mean, I like that.
It's kind of weird he becomes a main character. Like, arguably, the show becomes about him.
Yeah. And I like that Poppy is very positive and she's very energetic, and they clash, of course. They're opposites attract. I see the romance that they're trying to do here, but it's also a little forced in this third movie. Not forced as in, whoa, we didn't see that coming, but we didn't see them do that kind of stuff in the first one. We didn't see them do that kind of stuff in the second one. Why all of a sudden now in the third one we're watching trolls kissing?
Well, I mean, that's one thing, but that was weird because you, based off of what kind of movie it is, how the trolls behave and stuff, you basically take the hugging as kissing, as the romance. Mm-hmm. So that is a weird step to take. But at the same time, you have to let your imagination kind of take hold with the in-between sections of each of the movie, in between the first, second, in between 2 and 3, where each relationship kind of develops or something happens, if it's something chaotic happens, like Branch and Poppy break up, we obviously need a little bit of that, but the relationship developing a little bit more, you'd expect that to happen with some time in between, when some time was in between, right?
I assume so.
Because, I guess not an awful lot of time, because by the end of the first one, Bridget and the king are hooking up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're planning the wedding. So what? Potentially 12 months?
Sure.
So, some time
Yeah.
happened in between. I guess it brings the question, like, where the fuck does the second one fit into this? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would definitely need to rewatch the second one to fill in some of the gaps there. And I get that. I get that there's time in between, but I don't know. It's just weird. It was just weird.
Yeah, because I think the tone's off. I think that's part of it. That's why it makes me think that there's this weird adult slant that's like, what? It's just so weird. I like it. I like the weirdness that it makes me unsettled in a funny way, because it's just like, what the fuck is this movie? I guess I almost want to say it's so bad it's good type thing, but it's really not bad, but it's not good. But it's pretty good. It's okay.
Yeah, you appreciate how did you phrase it? You appreciate when films know what they are and they run with it.
Yeah.
So they knew they were going weird here.
Yeah. And it's just weirder because it's the same director too. It's just like, what is happening? I don't know. But it's okay. I don't know. I'm okay with this movie. It's about as good as the best Minions, probably.
Heck no.
Oh, those are fighting words.
Those are fighting words. Despicable Me, the first of the Minion franchise, is absolutely fucking amazing.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so good. It's so good. Not compared to this trash. We need to watch it. Yeah, I might need to rewatch some of the other Minion movies. Despicable Me 2, Minions, The Rise of Gru. Is there a Despicable Me 3? I'm not sure, but the first one is awesome.
Is it a classic?
Is it a classic?
Is it old enough?
It might be. How old is it?
Oh, I don't know. 2012, I would guess. 2013.
No way. 2010.
Holy smokes. It's even older than I thought.
So, yeah. I mean, and there's the ride at Universal. So, if you're at Disney or Universal, you might be pretty good. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe not Disney. Some of those rides at Disney need to get upgraded, man. Magic Kingdom needs a renovation stat with some of those old, crappy, shitty rides.
It's fair.
Or maybe I went to Magic Kingdom a little too old in my life.
That's fair. Yeah, that's probably true.
I did like some of the fun they had with getting some close-ups of the trolls when things got very dramatic. I thought those were pretty cool. I think at one point, some of Branch's brothers were, I don't know, they were saying dramatic things, and it looked like the camera would pan in on them, almost like a kind of found footage-y type of feeling. And I mean, it almost felt like they were about to say, "Get that camera out of my face." So I like those.
That's weird. That's weird too.
That is weird.
That's a weird feeling. I'm gonna tell you one thing that creeped me out a little bit, talking about weird and unsettling, was I can't remember the trolls' names, but the sexy one, the one that got a dad bod, became a dad.
Oh,
His kids were creepy as fuck. That was probably my favorite scene, where the kids, they had pink eye, and then they all had pink, or one of them had pink eye, and then all of them had pink eye, and it was like really weird.
That was weird.
I was like totally unsettled by that.
It was weird, first of all, that he hooked up with someone out of his species.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then they had a bunch of kids, and like they made a joke, I think, about how does that work.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, I still don't know how it works. And it was like, what? And then you had the whole pink eye thing.
It's weird.
It was weird. What did you think about the overall plot and just how everyone has a lost sibling?
Well, they made fun of themselves.
They did.
So
they embraced it.
I'm like, okay, it's not this just convenient for convenience sake thing, but it is at the same time.
Did we have a lesson here that we normally have with kid animated films?
Yeah.
Which is what?
Is it just that family is important?
If family is so important, why did Poppy's dad totally abandon her sister and not go look for her and just assume she was dead? But I don't know if there was an explanation there. I don't remember what the dad's fucking excuse was if family's so important.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
And none of Branch's brothers came back? Really? After all these years? There's 4 of you, 5 of you, I don't know, motherfuckers. And you let a baby Branch alone with an old senile person that died? No one checked in on him?
Well, as we know, babies in the Trolls world are pretty capable. So maybe not that big of a deal for the baby.
All right.
Because, the baby Diamond guy,
Oh, yeah.
he's only a few weeks old and he's ready to go.
That's true.
He's fucking driving. It's kind of funny. There's like this theme of you like your family when you conveniently need them.
That's not a good lesson for kids.
Right? Isn't that about right, though?
I mean, yes. Yes, it is.
I like Veneer's whole thing where he's really conflicted about doing what he's doing and working with his sister. Because but he's scared of her. And
that's funny.
and he wants to make money and be famous and whatever, yada, yada, yada. But there's a funny I don't know, he reminded me of James from Pokemon.
Yes, that's a good comparison for these two. Because he's kind of like doing things just for Jesse. Yeah, I don't know. If the lesson here is just there's power in family, I don't buy it. And if the lesson is truly family's there when you need them and only when you need them, I don't like that.
I like that.
I guess there's some realness and authenticity to that.
It sounds like
but no, we're trying to teach kids that that's not okay.
It sounds like Walt Dorn may have had a bad Thanksgiving last year or something.
Oh my god.
Or bad Christmas. He's like, you know what? Fuck my family. Watch this.
Oh man. During the scene when Poppy and her sister find out they're sisters and they reunite, and Viva calls her hermana, which is sister in Spanish. I don't know how I feel about not only movies, but just people in general saying one Spanish word.
Yeah, like it's supposed to really hit home.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm about to say here, but it's like when you're interacting with a white person and then all of a sudden they say gracias and you're like, okay, you're welcome. Like, do you do that on your day to day? Or is it just because I'm Hispanic here you felt obligated to say that? Because I don't know. I don't know you on your day to day. I'm not there. I would have to ask somebody that you're close to and see if you actually do that, or if, like, I don't know. Did you say that Spanish word because it's Camila Cabello? Because there's nothing here to represent you as Hispanic. You are blonde as fuck, and you're a troll. You're pink.
I mean, for all we know, there is no such thing as Hispanic, Caucasian, black, anything in this world.
Yeah, and I guess it sounds like I'm going on a rant, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird when people do that. It's weird when movies do that. I do not understand the point. Like, are you trying to impress? Are you trying to be more, like, culturally representative and sensitive?
Well, in this movie, they definitely said to themselves, Camila Cabello, she's Hispanic. We got it. We know what we're doing. We're naming her Viva, first of all.
Exactly.
And then we're going to make her say something Spanish. I've known people who just say hola, like just period. That's just how they say hello. So there are people out there who just say that one Spanish word and that's it.
But why?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think if there's one French word that I say.
Oui.
I mean, yeah, I guess I do. I do that. And there is like a Swahili word I'll randomly use every once in a while. An Italian word I'll use every once in a while.
But do you use it ironically? It's not really ironic, but it's the best. It's how we use it's one way we use the word ironic. Because when I say we, I'm making fun of the French because they sound funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to use it to kind of show off that I know other words in other languages, make me, feel smarter than I actually am. But if I'm around a French person, am I gonna pop that out? I don't know. In my previous job, I worked with a bunch of Italians, and I definitely did not say any Italian words around them, just in case I fucking said it wrong, or I doubt hurt someone's feelings, but...
No, you can't hurt an Italian's feelings.
Yeah, that's fucking true. They hurt my feelings, really. But I don't know.
You didn't go spaghetti, lasagna. You didn't do any of that shit?
No. Probably would have gotten fired. But no, that was just weird. It's weird. It's just a weird thing that happens, and I've noticed it my whole life.
It's weird. I agree. And I've noticed it my whole life too. And it pops up in all kinds of movies.
And it's mainly Spanish.
It's always Spanish here in the United States.
Yeah.
That's just because of how close they are. Because I would imagine that thing, it's a little disingenuous to say in other places because the biggest movies are made in the United States and the most movies are made in the United States. So it's not quite 1-to-1. But statistically, you may be able to look at it. But with like maybe the British, they do the same thing with the French, maybe. They might even do Spanish, actually, because Spain's right next door, too, to them.
But they're a lot closer geographically. Because, like, France, for example, is, an hour away from Italy, Spain, Germany. They're all right there. So I guess in my head, that would make more sense for them to use each other's languages because they're right there, so close, compared to us. But
U.S. is right next to Mexico.
Yes, but there's states in the U.S. that are like a day away from Mexico.
Yeah, it's weird. I get it. I totally get it.
Because the movie industry, that makes more sense because they're over there, very close. And I mean, Mexico has Baja California, which is in Mexico, and it all connects. So okay, I get that. But I'm talking about random people here in Mississippi saying some of those things. I don't know. It doesn't bug me. You for all I care, practice your Spanish.
Yeah, say whatever you want.
Say whatever you want. All right. I'm just saying it's weird.
It's kind of like, you've got someone in your life who doesn't maybe read or something, and so doesn't have a real fleshed out vocabulary, but has that one strangely advanced word in their vocabulary. They throw it out where they can. And you're just like, why do you say that? Why? What do you... it's kind of like that.
You know what that word is?
What?
In a lot of places, maybe not, I don't hear it, but I see it a lot, is plethora. That's like one of those SAP words that everyone learned.
SAP word, yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Everyone learned it. They think it sounds better than a lot. So
it doesn't. They
say plethora.
It's an ugly word. It doesn't sound good at all.
I think I've heard it used. Like, someone say it. I'm like, no, keep... I'm so glad you remember your SAP vocabulary, your ACT vocabulary. Good for you. But it doesn't sound good in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Put it back.
Sure.
Put it back.
Yeah.
Use it in writing. It sounds better in writing. But yeah, I get that. I did read a review of someone saying that this was the worst time for this movie to come out because of Justin Timberlake, with the whole Britney Spears memoir shit coming out, and that if this movie got any negative reviews or bad reviews, it's because of that, because of the hate JT is getting right now.
Lol, it's the highest rated Trolls movie out of the 3.
I just thought that was hilarious.
I mean, that's kind of a funny thing to say because I don't know if anyone takes Britney Spears all that serious because she's a little bit psycho. I mean, she arguably needs help, as far as I can tell. And not really a Britney specialist, but she seems to need help.
I mean, once you shave your head one time and you're who you are, you're not a guy, first of all, and you're not the type of girl that shaves her head like Britney is. Yeah, you arguably need help.
You saying Jada Pinkett Smith needs help?
She needs help. God, she needs more help than Britney. Man. Does she even have alopecia? Okay, we're done with that. I'm done for today.
Does Jada Pinkett Smith slap Will Smith?
I'm sure she does.
She slaps him somewhere.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just thought it was funny that someone brought that up.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, especially because that indicates maybe in a public sense that, or public awareness that maybe this movie isn't for kids, because kids aren't going to know. Kids don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Kids don't know who Britney or JT are. And JT's not on here. His voice, I bit my tongue. His voice is, but that's it. Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
And I mean, I may be wrong here, but I don't think JT has a very recognizable voice. His speech voice, his normal talking voice.
I don't think a lot of animators do. We could probably count like 10, if that do that. You're like, oh, that's this person.
Which is not good. You don't want that in animated films at all. You want to be able to kind of disguise it, because you don't want to. The last thing you want is an image of another character from other animated movie, or God fucking forbid a live action film. That's one reason oh my God, The Bad Guys, I think came out last year or 2 years ago. That movie, the voice acting is so bad in that movie because they just don't give a fuck. They're just playing themselves, each of the actors and stuff. It's so bad.
Isn't that the same director?
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
I think so.
He's a voice in it, surprisingly.
Damn. So you just insulted him.
I did. That's a funny connection. It's not my fault. Voice actors are terrible. We need a reformation of voice actors. People are bitching in Hollywood about X, Y, and Z. They be bitching about how voice actors suck. Or some of them. A lot of them. Most of them. 80% of them probably.
Yeah. And people were bitching about Chris Pratt being Mario. He did a great job.
Yeah, joke on all of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He did fine.
He did fine. He did great. Not just fine.
People thought he was going to be the next voice in the video games too, but he's not. Because the Charles, I can't remember his last name, but he retired, of course.
Yeah, that's right. You told me about that. Originally, I gave this a Letterboxd score of 2.5, but I think I might bring that down.
Oh, it's down. It's on the down slope.
Yeah. You didn't convince me of anything besides the weirdness.
No, I didn't try, but I gave it a 2.
I think I'm going with a 2 as well.
And I'm like, I kind of want to bring it down to 1.5 because it's not a proper 2 in my mind. A proper 2 is District 9 maybe in my mind. It's hard to say because District 9 is even floating to a 2.5 in my mind to some degree. Because my whole thing I like to whip out every once in a while is the baseline of a quality of a movie, and District 9 fits that perfectly, which doesn't fit a 2 or a 2.5 in my mind. It's a 2.25. It's like the in-between space is the baseline of what a movie should be. But I can't rate that on Letterboxd so easily. And this isn't as good as District 9. I don't like it as much. It's definitely not as good as District 9.
No.
But it is in a vacuum kind of way. The voice acting's good, the production's good, the writing's fine. The jokes are jokes, they either hit or they don't. They all you can do is really applaud them for trying. It's got some weird themes. It's got a weird point. It's got a weird underlying Amy Schumer joke, which I can't help but to applaud. So it's just like, I don't hate this at all. I don't think this is serviceable. I think this is better than serviceable. So it lives in a weird space for sure. It's better than Uncharted, but it's not as good as Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I have to sit. I have to sit with this one for a bit because it keeps going down every second. Now I'm at 1.9.
Yeah, just lock it in to a 2.
2. All right, it's a 2.
All right, man. Well, thank you for watching this movie with me.
You're welcome.
Do you have a budget guess for me?
Yeah, I have 125 million, but
Damn. Why so much?
I don't know. It felt long as fuck, but that might have been me.
It's an hour and 32 plus.
Oh shit! I thought
Plus,
this was
that's
like.
with credits.
I thought this was like 2 hours.
Nah, man.
Okay, well, it felt long. It's animated. They had several animated styles sprinkled in here or there.
Mm-hmm. It's a super high production animation
It's
too.
DreamWorks. So, yeah, I figured at least 100, if not a little more.
That's fair. It says here that it was 95 million, so you're in the ballpark.
Less than 100?
Less than 100. I guess the rule of thumb maybe with high quality production, animated production is maybe $1 million per minute.
$1 million per minute.
So if the movie's 2 hours, that's $120. It's $120 million. That sounds about right. And how much Spider-Man was?
I don't remember. I should probably write these down.
Yeah.
But Twirl's World Tour was 90 to 110.
So right in the same.
Yeah, and
ballpark,
usually the next one goes up a little bit. So, oh shit! But that one didn't make any money.
Oh, how much?
The box office was 48 million.
That must have been a COVID related thing within that, where it got released to.
Yeah, it got released April 10, 2020. And
yeah.
COVID hit hard in March.
Okay.
And everything started shutting down in March.
Yeah.
So that, okay, all right.
Disingenuous box office score.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure. It says here that the box office numbers right now are 152 million.
Okay.
It's still at theaters.
All right.
It's been there for a while, so it'll probably round out around maybe 170, which is not very good. Not very good for this, because we got major ensemble cast, people like JT, Anna Kendrick, the goods.
All of them good.
All of them goods. They're probably very expensive, so this might be the last Trolls movie we see.
God, I hope so. But they introduced new characters, so I don't know. Maybe they'll do a show.
I think they already have one.
Well, now they'll do a show with Viva and Branch's brothers. I was gonna say Brock.
Yeah, they're gonna recast Viva.
Yes, for sure.
She's not gonna want to do that shit.
Hell no. Just get another Hispanic. Shit.
We won't know. We won't notice.
Yeah, we can't tell the difference.
You know what? Just don't even get another Hispanic. We won't know. She's a troll.
That's hilarious.
You know what? Just get an AI at this point. We don't even need a person.
Oh, God.
All right, man. Well, thank you for talking about this movie. This was a fun talk, right?
Yeah, I had fun. Semi-bashing this movie.
It's hard to bash it because it's not trash, and I like that. I like it when something is not trash, when it so easily could have been. I guess that's one reason I maybe have a soft spot for this film, because it so easily could have been the worst animated movie of the year. But that goes to Teenage Kraken, of course.
Of course. Good job, Teenage Kraken. You managed to be the worst movie of all time.
That's actually impressive. They deserve an award for that, for sure. Remember, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for brand new episodes of the Filmsteins over on Apple Podcasts, Patreon, Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts for a few more weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Go check out the movie. It's not as bad as you might think. That's all I'm going to say. That's the tagline. That should be their tagline. Not as bad as you think. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmsteins. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives in the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/Filmsteins, and follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners. So if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching, keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmsteins signing off.
Nice.